Everyone, this is Max at MaxCTCG. Thanks for joining me in another video. So this is going to be the new Trickstar support. Let's get the band back together for the Trickstar concert. So this was a anime character, I think from Vrains. I have not watched that series, but I plan to at some point. So Trickstars was a pretty decent deck 5 years ago. Let's see, I have read through the support. I think it's decent. So let's kind of go through this together, kind of read the effects, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. We have Trickstar Hoodie. So level 2 light fairy effect monster, 600 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Okay, so if you control a Trickstar Fusion or Link monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so that should be pretty easy. Especially to get to the next card. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for a Link summon for a Trickstar monster, you can add one Trickstar Fusion or Trickstar Diffusion from your deck to your hand. So we already, I think, have Fusion for what I remember looking at. I think Diffusion's in this list. So overall, a solid extender that's pretty easy to summon. So all you got to do is have a Link, and then it gets you another card to make more extension. So solid card overall. Next we have a Fusion or Trickstar Band Drummatis, level 6 light fairy fusion effect monster. 2000 attack, 1000 defense, 2 Trickstar monsters. So I have to have Trickstars for this. That's fine. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is fusion someone, add a Trickstar card from your deck to your hand with a different name from the cards you control and in your grave. So if you use this early, you can get a lot of cards. Right? Your Trickstar Link monsters that this card points to gain 1000 attack, so a little bit of a boost there. And then if either player takes effect damage, you can target one face-up monster in the field, change its attack to 0. I wish they would have also gave this a negate because it's not something you could use on trigger effects anyway. Again, making it harder to attack over. It's some form of interaction, but it's not enough. But overall, not a bad card. All right, so this is the card I think that's going to really help them. So this is Trickstar Colchica. I'm not sure on that one. We have Link 1 Light Fairy Link Effect Monster, 200 attack, bottom arrow. So Link 1 again, it's always scary for a deck. They did have a Link 1, but it was like level 2 or level 3 or lower, I think was the requirement. So that doesn't work with some of the other, like Candina, which is the best Trickstar. So this is just any level 1 Link effect. So that's good. That works with Candina. Works also with Hoodie. And easy to summon since any Trickstar makes that and Hoodie becomes a free extender. Very solid overall with how these are kind of working together so far. You can only special summon Trickstar Colchicas once per turn. Okay, you can only use this effect of this card's name once per turn. When a monster is destroyed by battle involving a Trickstar monster, while this card's in your grave, you can banish this card, target one of those destroyed monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack it had on the field. So I believe the way this is working in its wording is that it also works when your Trickstar monster battles and dies. It doesn't have to beat the opponent's monster in battle. So that's pretty nice. This deck does a lot of burn damage, so if you're not able to get on top of it, I think it's a way the deck can definitely win. And then being able to probably go through multiple of these and kind of have these as like a grindy kind of way to keep burning your opponent seems like a pretty solid way. Unfortunately, if it's this card, dying, it's not great since it only has 200, but if we can start destroying some of the other monsters, you can even start doing pretty big chunks of damage. Like that's 2000, that's only 600. So, with the Link monsters, I think you have a better chance equal to the attack out on the field. So if you're also getting those boosts, like you're boosting the monster with 1000, let's say it's like 3000 and you like crash it to another 3000 monster with like a Link or something, that's also 3000, that's 3000 burn damage. So that's pretty good. I think this could definitely win some games and potentially just win in time, which the deck is no problem with doing at all. All right, so let's look at the Link 2. So when I looked at the Link 2s, there weren't that many good ones. They're all like somewhat okay, but not great. So I think this one is pretty solid in comparison to a lot of the Link 2s they do have. So Link 2 Light Fairy Link Effect Monster, 2000 attack, bottom left, bottom right, so good arrows. And then 2 Trickstar monsters. So again, easy to summon with this deck. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is Link Summon, you can add a blue Tears card to your deck to your hand, so a free search, which is nice. If you have a fusion monster on your field or in your grave, you can target one Trickstar monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So if you can go into the fusion, you can then link into this, and then this comes back, which is really nice, or any Trickstar, but that's really good. And then this can boost, the fusion can boost this, putting it to 3000. And then if either player takes effect damage, you can target face a card on the field and destroy it. Pretty nice with the way the fusion and this are kind of paired together. It takes effect damage, makes its attack 0, destroy your card. So you have some interruption here with the way these are kind of working together and the way the deck's kind of seems to be formulating, right? And then we have next Trickstar Diffusion, Normal Trap. So again, normal traps are always playable with Thrust, which is nice. That's something to keep in mind, but it is a trap card, so it is slow. So let's see if it's worth it. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If it only needs effect, fusion summon one Trickstar Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing its materials from your grave. Okay, so you can banish from grave, so that's good, but it's slow. I think this would be better if it's a spell, but they already have Trickstar Fusion. Immediately after this effect resolving summon Trickstar monster, you can banish this card from your grave. Target one Trickstar monster you control. This turn your opponent cannot target monsters for attacks that set that monster while you control it. You can either fusion or you can link, but I don't think any of the links have very good on-field summon effects. Don't know if this is that great. And even the fusion, which I think this one's better than the others I remember reading. This searches a card, but that won't do anything. Well, it'll do something, but it's not the best. On summon on your opponent's turn. And then you can banish this from your grave, target one Trickstar monster control. This turn your opponent monster cannot target monster attack except that. So I guess if you can boost one of your monsters up by like summoning the fusion into the link zone, maybe you can make it so they can't run over it. But overall, I'm not super impressed with this card, just mostly because I don't think there's great stuff to access. If you could search this, get a good interruption on your opponent's turn, maybe get some resource management back by getting graveyard summons and trigger more effects to search, then I think this could be better. So I think this will really depend on what you summon. Maybe you play one of it. I'm not very sure though. All right, and then we have the blue Maiden of Tears. So this is the trap card the link can search, a normal trap. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name per turn and only once that turn. If your opponent special summons a monster and you control a link monster, target one of those summoned monsters, destroy it, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. This is a nice interruption card that also burns, so that's pretty solid. And if either player takes effect damage while this card's in your grave, you can banish this card and then target one normal spell in your grave or banishment and set it. It cannot activate this turn, so a nice way to get some recursion, which is cool. It does have to be normal spells, but there are some very strong normal spells like talents or other cards that you can set back and then have a way to kind of play through your opponent's board if they use any monster effects in the main phase. So I think this is a solid card. It's a good interruption. You can't, when you burn, this card's going to be still in the field, and then if you burn again while it's in the grave, you can use this effect. And it says you can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's per turn, so you won't be able to use them both per turn either. So you have to set this up and then burn on the opponent's turn to get this set. So most likely the way this is going to work is you would destroy your opponent's monster on their turn, since this ought to be set first. Let's go to the grave, and since you can't use the second effect in the same turn, you're gonna have to wait to use this on your turn, but then because you're setting it and you can't activate this turn, you have to wait a while. So that's actually not as good now that I think about it. In terms of the banish effect, if you could use both in the same turn, then you would have the spell on the follow-up. I think that makes it a lot better, but it's still searchable interruption. You could use out the link 2, and the link 2 is very easy to summon. So I think this is definitely worth playing as a one of, because the deck needs ways to interrupt on the opponent's turn. But overall, there's some really solid cards for Trickstar. I don't think this makes it a top tier deck by any means. I think it's like playable rogue. I think it could do decent. If you guys are interested, like, comment, and subscribe in this video. Let me know what you guys think of these cards. And then if you want, we can do a deck profile and a template of what I'm thinking with the new cards, and maybe show a basic combo of maybe how some things might play out with the deck. And we can discuss it more there too as well. So let me know what you guys think. I look forward to kind of hearing what you guys think of these new cards. Are they really good? Are they okay? What are some combos you guys are thinking about? All right, look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and I'll see you there.